What's up, Rockstars, and welcome to another video. This is a series I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do it as I get more and more into the game, and I finally decided to do it. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it, mainly because Warhammer Fest just ended, and there's some really cool stuff I want to talk about. So that's what we're going to do. Now, before I get into this, just know that I'm coming off of a cold. I still kind of have it. I might have to edit out some coughs, and we'll see, just because you guys don't want coughs in your ear if you're using headphones or something like that. There's a table set up here. I didn't set it down. I get out of breath easily because I can't breathe very well, so just stay with me. You guys know when I get, excited about stuff, I just, go ham. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm excited. I'm excited. And I know that this is a few days late, but, again, there was no way I was going to record any other day. And hey, if you're a mom out there, if you happen to be watching my channel, happy Mother's Day. I know it's late, but there you go. Okay, now on with that. I'm only talking about 40k. That's what I'm into right now. I don't pretend to give you guys news about crap I don't care about. Okay, so right now I play Warhammer 40k. That's what I'm reporting on. Okay, if I pick up any of the board games, I'll start covering that, I guess, too. Or if I get into Age of Sigmar because their minis are super cool and maybe the game's cool too and I have enough time in my life for it, I'll cover that too. But for now, I only cover what I like. So, you know, I'm not just fake excited about crap. So, there you go. And if you don't normally watch this channel, I normally cover Kickstarter board games, as you can see with all this crap behind me. But get into Warhammer, start going to cover that too. We'll see where that leads, I guess. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go in the order that I like. So, deal with it. It was Warhammer Fest, by the way. They do it every year. It's 6 days, but they dedicate days and they cover different stuff. So, day 1 was Age of Sigmar. Not going to cover that, right? Day 2 was Warhammer 40k. You better believe I'll cover that. Day 5 here was also Warhammer because they had more Warhammer. Now, this was pretty cool. We're going to skip past the live stream crap and go straight to Orks because I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you've a long time viewer of the channel and you dedicated, you would have heard me every now and then slip in that when I was a teenager, I had a few metal orcs that I used to paint with 3 paints. I had 3 paints. I primed them in black, and then I had 2 greens and I had a silver. So I had a dark green that I would paint them, and then I would paint the lighter green on top of it because there was no such thing as freaking washes or any magical crap like that. To get that kind of definition, and I painted the guns silver. There you go. As a teenager, that's about all I could afford, and a 500-point team of shootas that just died before they even got to him. My friend played Tau at the time, and I couldn't even beat that. It was bad. He just sat there and shot, and I was just all right, I guess I'm done. It was bad. It was not a proper Warhammer experience, but the reason they were my pick is because Orks are the funnest batch ever. They're just such a great, they're the only thing in Warhammer that could make you smile like this. I mean, they're fantastic. And so they came out with a new army set, a Beast Snaga Orks. These guys are freaking sweet. Here you can see them right here. I'm going to go and zoom in a little bit. We'll get up close and personal with them. Super, super great models, by the way. I really dig just the amount of variety. The only thing I'm a little kind of weirded out about is maybe the hair. I don't know how I feel about too much hair, so we'll see about that. Well, let's go ahead and go through it. So they have these awesome squigs, right? But they have smasha squigs. As you can see, steel plate just, like the dinosaur, right? You know what I'm talking about? Or mountain rams, or I don't know, mountain goats or some junk. Love it. Love it. Obviously, the paint style is great too, but I love the amount of armor I'm liking. I really like the style of these guys. They have a lot of bandoliers and belts and stuff like that, so they're still mostly, slightly mechanized from their mech boys or whatever, but I really like the amount of armor that's going on them. I really like the color that they've chosen to show off here, the bright kind of orangish, reddish pinks, and then of course the green. I think the red and green go well together. Not just Christmas colors, they're very complementary, and so that's awesome. Here we got some cool blue almost to teal, again going with the green a little bit, which I like as well. I know I'm talking about painting here, but So it is what you're doing. This guy, though, okay, so these guys are cool, right? Because they just charge in there. Why not? Love it. I think it's a great combo. I love the wheels, by the way. They'll show this down below as well. This guy's kind of interesting. So he's like not an orc. So I don't like him just because he's like nice to squigs and does positive reinforcement and all that other crap. And as a proper orc player, I feel like you almost shouldn't play him. But maybe he's good. I guess we'll see. So he has some interesting things there, but they don't really get into it. So we don't know for sure. He does have a freaking sweet claw, though. So there is that. And lots of hair. So yeah, there's that too, that he's like put on. It's funny. Okay, so here's the little guy there. Grabbing him by the eyebrow. Fully mechanized wheel with like a little chin guard thing as well and stuff. Love it. Notice that all their jaws are kind of updated and it looks so good. They look so good. You can see the other guys in the background there, even with their big guns too. I might have to pick it up. Again, orcs make me smile so much. Their lore is great. Also, this will only, in this box, zoom out a little bit now. In this box here, the army set will be the first time, because it's 26 minis by the way, so all of these, first time you can actually get the codex. So they are getting a codex update. You'll be able to get it here first. I think that's dumb. If you're able to make it and put it in the box, you do that. But it's Games Workshop. You know how they work. They don't care about you necessarily, just your wallet. And then they do cool stuff like this, but then they're like, they get you every time, right? There's always like a but. So you're kind of forced to get this. At least this is all new models, right? So while you may not want it in your army, but you want to get the codex and you don't want to use something like Battle Scribe or something like that, it's fine. But like it sucks that the codex is stuck in there, right? But at least it's not like where like some of the units you don't even need or whatever. And you know, I mean, you probably don't need a whole bunch more. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. These guys are cool though. No use complaining about it, right? Okay, so the other thing, they have war bosses that are souped up, armored up. I love it. Because in classic orc style, we got a two-handed weapon, but we can still shoot. But not because we have some fancy like rocket mounted shoulder missile launcher crap or, you know, whatever kind of fancy stuff or guns in our shields, which I'll show you guys later. No, instead we have a Gretchen up here on a mounted turret just on our back, just, you know, shooting around. It's great. I love it. I love it that his mouth is open. I figure they're both just screaming the whole time, just having a blast. Yeah, that's super great. Okay, what next? For Imperial Guard players, you have upgraded Cadian Shock Troops. This is an interesting upgrade because what they're doing is they're actually adding in a new sprue to existing boxes. And what the new sprue is it's just these heads here. Well, not just these heads, actually. There's a little more to it, but I'll stop at the heads for now. I love personalizing and changing things up and all that. And I think all of these actually look great. I really dig all these. I don't think Warhammer does faces all the time very well. But male humans, they tend to do fairly well on, this guy being a little questionable and this guy being, I don't know, some of them look a little weird. Same with this. This looks like if you're playing like the main character of Deus Ex, like the first one or some junk, I don't know. And then I don't even know what's going on. Like, what is this guy doing here? What is Anyway. Okay. So maybe I lied. They still will have a few questionable ones, but mostly okay. And so it's the same guys you know and love, but now with more face options. And it's literally just like inserted right in there, which is really cool. Let me see where they say that. The boxes of Cadian Shock Troops will soon be upgraded to a whole new sprue of additional parts. So that's cool. So if you get your Cadian Shock Troops, you're going to get a new sprue in there. So when you buy them, I guess make sure it's the new one. I don't know if they're going to change the outside of it or not. It'd be nice if the cover was maybe updated a little bit. I bet it is to show off these new faces anyway. They're also adding some heavy weapons in that sprue, which is also a nice to have. They never give you enough, right? So it's like you get like one of these, and if you want to field your whole group with them, you have to buy multiple boxes or bits or somehow get enough to where you have all enough, or just proxy them or say, and they all have that, and then the person has to, you know, that you're fighting has to be like, they're fine without the what you see is what you get kind of thing on the table, which I think they should support, but not everybody does because of crap like this. Like if it was easy to get bits, right? If they were like Lego where you could just go online and order, I want that gun. I want that helmet for all of my army of Grey Knights. Because that helmet's freaking sweet. You can't really do that, sadly. And unfortunately. And because that's how it is. I think that's how we should play, but whatever. Okay, they teased a Psychic Storm is coming. There's going to be Grey Knights. You can see them right there. There's going to be demons. There's going to be all sorts of craziness here. Sounds interesting. When I first got back into Warhammer, really when I first got into Warhammer, like originally, this was not too long ago, I got into Grey Knights. I love Knights. And then I was kind of disappointed with how old some of the models are. Some of the models are a little old. I was a little bummed about that just because you get the kind of like short, squat, we have no waists, like giant hands and heads kind of, it's not really, it looks old, right? It's just an older style of sculpting and I get that, but I love, when the Grey Knights get an update, I'm going to be all about it. I guess also gameplay wise, I tend to dislike a faction that's really good at only like a certain thing, right? Like, and they're good at other things, but they're really good against demons, right? Obviously, which makes sense lore wise, but thematically, you know, if I'm fighting Imperial Guard, I don't want to be weaker just because they're not demons, if that makes sense. I want a versatile tool with one of those being anti-demon, as opposed to pretty much that being their shtick. So that's day 5. There's plenty more, though. Let's go ahead to day 2. So it's kind of the first time we got some more Warhammer stuff in Warhammer Fest, and we got this chick here, this Morvenn Vahl, or whatever her name is. She's really cool. She's actually a High Lord of Terror. This was really cool. Mr. Guliman himself said, hey, this chick's pretty cool. And she got this super special armor suit with this super special weapon. We'll get into her stats in just a bit here. But they're lauding her as kind of like, essentially a faction leader like the Silent King, which I have. Abaddon the Spoiler, don't have him obviously yet. Captain General Traja. They're making her like the de facto leader, but I don't think they mean that she takes on that role in that she's like 500 points. I don't think she's going to be that much. I guess we'll have to see, but I don't think she's quite there. Probably maybe in the 300. I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting. I'll show you your stats. But so I think thematically she's like the leader, right? If that makes sense. Of the faction, but that doesn't mean that she's like this huge mini or anything like that, right? She's not Mortarion or anything like that. She's big, but she's not like huge. And she's again got super cool armor. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I think they'll show her off better in the other ones. Well, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, they'll show off the weapons and stuff. I love that she's armored though. And in fact, if you see, she even has an armored face thing. If the whole idea of a person out there exposed, like, you know, the Grey Knights have their guys and everything like that. If you're not a walking coffin, but you're just like, you know, the end of Alien mech suiting it up, that can seem a little silly. Though, I mean, again, we always have Space Marines without helmets too, but it's not like their whole body or anything like that. She's fairly armored up, as you can see. She's got armor here, armor here. You can take the helmet off. I actually prefer it without the armor, but you can put armor on her face too, which is nice. Meanwhile, she's got like this gun shield. Gun shields are a thing for them. And then this super special spear, which we'll talk about later. Then we have this sweet freaking banner chick here. And again, she can plant it down and buff people up. These are just kind of buff people here. They mentioned Crusade here, which I make sense that they would work well with Crusade. But even if you're just a painter, this mini in particular is fantastic. Love it. She's super cool too if you want to get that in depth with your like scroll work, but that's not me. So moving on here. We got Dogmata here, which a very cool power pose. I really dig that there. Be kind of interesting to see what she does there. They say she redoubles their efforts of performing actions and holding objectives. So that, and also Palatine or Palatine or however you pronounce her name is finally available outside of the box that nobody can buy. So she was in the Piety and Pain battle box, which of course sold out within seconds and then is always sold out, and you guys know how it is, and that was the only way to get her. Well, now you can finally actually start buying her in like normal. Again, it bothers me that they do this, but Games Workshop gonna Games Workshop, so whatever. Either way, she looks super cool. I dig the whole pose and armor and everything, and dude, the black and red's just good. You guys know, it's just good. It's just good. Oh, and then they also have, so here's you'll see the gun here. You'll see it better. I think if I go back here. Yeah, so they have their old gun shields here, which is super sweet. And then, of course, they can get like a maul and just really cool weapons here, which is nice. And again, you get that kind of black-red going on there. Mostly black, though. Like armored up to like the face. So they're just a little bit more armored, a little bit more heavy-duty with their freaking like nasty, nasty weapons. So cool stuff in general. I like that they're not super adorned, by the way. I think that's done a lot, but I'm glad that they're not. And of course, you get your variety of weapons. If you want a little melta stuck in there, you can do that. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Okay, so they have these other Paragon warsuits. Again, this is actually kind of the same thing she has, but hers is like super souped up, obviously. It's all golden, she'll stand out. Get that, that's cool. But she ain't the only one in them. They have more, as you can see here, and again, I think they actually look pretty cool. Obviously not as beefy as the other one with the huge like rockets and everything, but they do have shoulder mounted stuff. They're essentially a dreadnought equivalent, which again I think is perfectly fine for them. I think that's cool. By the way, that's a sweet one there. I love that. And that is an awesome sword. I love the long, skinny sword like that. And whoever's painting those stripes in there, get out of here. Get out of here with your stripes. Can't paint no stripes. It looks good though. Yeah, no, they look nice. Not much to say about this. I do struggle to. They have had tanks that have a whole church organ like on the back. So when you see something like this, I don't get as excited about this. Like they have some cool inlays here and, just some niceties and some frills and whatnot, but it's not as like, what the heck, these chicks are insane as the other ones. This is a pretty straightforward gun. It's, I think, equivalent to a Predator, they said. So there's that. And of course, then Codex as well. You'll get that. 128 pages, including 35 data sheets. So a lot of options. They're really buffing them up. That's cool. They have a Warzone Act 2 thing, which is going on. It's going to feature a Bellicor, which is kind of neat, I guess. And then a new terrain set, which actually looks like it has a nice variety. It looks like it definitely uses some repeat stuff. But you get a good variety here. You get some taller things, you get some scatter, you get some pipes, so you can get some like defensive lines and stuff like that going on. It's alright. I always feel like I need 2 of these sets to do anything really, really good. And I do have a 3D printer, so I'm a little cautious about them, but some of them are really nice. I think I'm more interested in the set pieces more than anything like that. But either way, that's cool too. So that's that. Let's go ahead and dive into her a little bit here, because she is super cool. That's a freaking sweet picture of her, by the way, even if the face doesn't match at all, but whatever. And again, there's like no detail here, and there's detail here, and so sometimes the art's funny. Sometimes the art's really, really good, and sometimes it's like, I don't know if that's really the same. Maybe it's a different person. I don't know. Okay, all right. So let's look at her stats sheets here. She got 8 wounds, 8-inch movement. So yeah, it's all right. Hits and shoots on a 2+. That's great. Strength's 5, which is decent. Toughness 5, which is okay. And then a leadership of 9, so you don't have to really worry about too many morale tests with her. That makes sense. And a 2+ normal save. She comes with a 4++, so she does have an invulnerable save, which is nice, and that is against mortal wounds as well, which is cool. The holy Aegis just says that she takes half damage rounded up. So you shoot her with like a for instance, maybe you got your Indominus Necron guy with an infinity arrow, so he's hitting 6 damage on her. Well, she's going to get 3 damage on that. Just halves it right off the bat. That's really what gives her a lot of the staying power here. Plus, of course, there's the lookout, sir, because she's under 9 wounds. But she's not 9 wounds, she's 8 wound. So, kind of interesting there as well. So, 4++ with a half damage, regardless, is pretty darn good, because you're going to have trying. In other words, you need to do a lot of smaller shots on her than necessarily some high damage ones, and I think that'll get her down a little bit quicker there. For her Lance of Illumination thing here, this is again that special lance that she's got. She's got 2 ranges, and it's the normal kind of heavy strike plus, going against, a mob of people trying to bog her down or something like that. She rolls doubles on the sweeping blow, which, if you recall, she has 5 attacks. So she'll be rolling 10 of these suckers at -2 AP, damage 1. The damage 1's kind of unfortunate there, but the -2 AP is pretty decent. And again, that's at strength user, so just a strength 5. Definitely just a troop killer there, right? We have the lunging strike, which is definitely the bigger one here. It's funny it says lunging, but there's not really like a movement in here. But it is at a +3, so that means we're at a strength 8. And strength 8 is not bad at all with a -3 AP, flat 3 damage. And we're not rolling any D3s here, which is nice. Plus, on any wounds of 6, she gets an additional mortal wound. So, not bad at all. Not bad at all, because she's still swinging 5 of these suckers. Next up are her missile launchers. She got 2 of them on there. She's got a whole bunch of missile launchers there, with these guys looking over it. Again, 2 different ones, and same kind of thing, where you're going for small fry, you're going for the anti-tank. 36 inches, you either get a heavy 2d6. 2d6 is quite nice, though again, fairly random. I mean, you got a minimum of 2 there, which sucks, right? But 12 would be nice. I'd almost prefer, again, like a d6 plus 2. I think that just would probably average higher. I feel like it would. I don't know. I roll crappy. That's all I know. So anytime you get that variable, I tend to go in the low end, not the high end. Just saying. But that'll be a strength 4, so again, just regular troops. Necron warrior kind of crap stuff going on there. Just damage 1, 0 AP. Just kind of a good luck. Maybe we'll get some. Then you have the Prioris missiles. This is definitely heavier. Heavy 2 has a strength 8, -2 AP with a d6 damage. Again, I'm not a big fan of the variable damage myself. I would have much preferred even probably a solid damage 2 than a d6, but I don't know. Maybe a d3 plus 2. Give me that. Just give me 3. I don't know. Give me 6. Whatever. You always want better and better and better. The variable damage, I can't bank on. It'd be nice if this works, but I guess we'll see. Okay, the only other thing, she's got 2 different buffs here. She's got an aura for all core units around her. They get a double reroll of hits and wounds of 1s, which is quite nice. It's not just one or the other, it's both. And then she has the Commander of the Adeptus Serratus, where she can pick another character as well. That's really the big nice thing there. Reroll both hit and wound rolls again, but you can put that on a character, which is super nice. Okay, lastly, just a small thing here. They do have now I don't know if it's Gaunts or Gaunts. Forgive me, Ghosts. They got the 6 main characters from the book series. Let me know if that's a book series I should read. I have not read any of their books. Some are good, some are kind of okay, I've heard. Like, I wanted to read Indominus because it's, the new thing, but then I was read and it's like, I don't know if that's necessarily the best one you could pick, so. Besides Horus Heresy, what should I read? Is this a good one to read? They look cool, though. I like them. I think they have a lot of character. They look super cool. Don't know what their stats are, how you include them in the game. They don't want to talk about that at all. Heavy weapons guy, all by himself. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. But they look cool. And that's about it, guys. That's all I have on that. Again, I apologize if I sound a little terrible. I'm still a little under the weather, but I want to get this out to you guys so you can see some of the new cool stuff. I know I'm excited about it. Actually, on this, there is one thing I am kind of excited because again, right now I'm a Necron fanboy. I am liking the Necrons, and they do have a Necron book. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds interesting enough, and they're already working on a sequel, so I'll be looking at that too. But it's all about the minis, right? That's what it's all about here. She's freaking sweet. My daughter wants to get into these, which means I'll probably get a third one. Right now I have Necrons, I have some Death Guard, I have some Space Marines, and I have some Tyranids, and I might even end up with them too. It's a rabbit hole, guys. It's definitely a rabbit hole. And there's some more cool stuff. And I'm looking at Orks now. They're super cool. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. And where I should go next with it, I guess. And with that, I'll go and let you guys go. Just wanted to kind of update you on this and also get a video to you guys out. I'll get some more videos out as I can. Again, my throat's kind of shot when it comes to a lot of talking, but I'll do what I can. All right, thanks, guys. And I'll talk to you guys again real soon.